Hello everyone, welcome to Sharmit. In this session, we are going to talk about another very important attribute of HTML video tag, that is preload. So we will discuss what is preload attribute, why do we need preload attribute, and what are the benefits of using preload attribute. Along with this, I will also show you the one example through which it would be clear to you like what exact process or format we are supposed to follow in order to utilize video element with attribute preload. Clear? But before we start the session, I would like to recommend you to please go and check out the previously released sessions first, because they all are in proper sequence and sync. So if you follow them sequentially, then it would be very easy for you to understand the ongoing topic. But for time being, we are just focusing on the part which is related to preload attribute. Okay, but prior to that, you should know what is a video element, why do we use video element, and other basic stuff related to video element. Okay, because they all are connected, so you can refer the previous session. For now, let's start the discussion related to preload. So here, if you look at the code, it is a straightforward code where we have just noted down the title in the head section and one heading. Okay, so yeah, I think now we are good to start. So here what we will do, we will simply write the tag for the heading, for the another heading, and here I will write preload attribute of video element in HTML. Okay, so we have just noted down preload attribute of video element in HTML. So here like you can see the output is coming like this. Okay, now what we will do, we will add a video element to add the video in the code. So I'll add video, then we will use source element. In source element, we will write we will write src, which is mainly used to attach your video with a web page. So here I will write simply the tag which is video name. So in my case, the video name is podcast.mp4. Then we will specify the video type. So to specify the type, you will use type, and here we will write video/mp4. So what basically the src is doing here, src is defining that we are going to attach the video with the name podcast and extension .mp4. On the other hand, we have type, which is defining the type as well as the extension of the video. Clear? Now these are the two basic attributes that we always use with video source element, so that we can attach the video. But one more very important thing, that your video should be in the same directory where your program resides. Why? Because otherwise it would not be able to figure out from where to pick the video. So either you can place it in your server, web server, or you can put into your same directory. Clear? So now if I show you the output, it is showing this. So is this the correct way to show the video? Not completely, because currently it is coming as a picture. It doesn't look like a video, right? We don't have control option. In fact, the width is also not coming properly. So to fix this thing, what we will do, we will write here the width first. So I'll set width as 600 pixels. Let's save it and reach it. So it is coming in a proper way, but still the controls are missing. So let's add the control. So here I'll write controls, and after the controls, you can write another important thing for this session, which is preload. So in preload, we have three values: auto, metadata, and none. So firstly, we will talk about auto. But before that, do we know what is preload? No. So far we haven't discussed it. So let's start with the definition. Okay. So I'll start with the definition that preload is a attribute of video element that allows us to control the browser loading process, or you can say that the preload attribute in video tag specifies how the browser should load the video when the page is loaded. Okay, somewhere it is giving you the control over the video loading behavior, and also it can help us to optimize the performance based on your needs. Okay, so this is the exact definition of preload attribute. Now it is clear that preload is an attribute that we use in order to control the loading behavior, right? But what is auto? Why do we need this auto value? So whenever you are using the auto value, it means you are instructing the browser to define by its own whether or not to preload the video content based on the user behavior or network condition. So if you have specified the if you have specified the preload value as auto, it will automatically decide whether, like, browser will decide whether to load the data or not. So if the user bandwidth or network conditions are good, then it will load the data, otherwise it will not load the data. Okay, so let me put another heading here so that you can see what type we are learning. So preload attribute with value auto. Okay, and this is the default value. Clear ho gaya? So this is the exact scenario that we just discussed. Preload attribute with value auto is a default value. That means if you are not specifying the preload here, automatically it will be considered as a auto. Clear? So that's why there is nothing changed even if you are removing it, right? Because automatically it considered the value as auto. Fine. Now we will talk the second value, which is none. So let me copy it here so that I save my time. Here I will write to preload value with none. And this is not a default value. We have to specify it whenever we want to use none value. Now what is none? So if I talk about the none value, then in this situation, the browser does not preload the video data. Okay, so whenever user load the web page, it will not automatically load the video preload data, because here we are specifying none. That means if you are specifying none, that means you are instructing browser to not load everything at the initial stage. Okay, but it doesn't mean that you will not be able to play the video. You can play the video, but it will not be immediately loaded on your web browser. I'll show you the example. And now the question comes, like, in this situation, what are the conditions where we are supposed to use this none? Because for the first one, it is clear that when we want to when we want that browser should decide the things whether to load or not, then we can specify auto. But in case when you want to conserve the bandwidth or improve the page load time, so in that situation we will put the value as none. Okay, and in this case, yes, the user might not play the video immediately. So in such a situation we can put the none value. So let me show you the output of it. Let me change the width here because I don't want to show it on a very long screen. Okay, fine. So here I have specified none. So now you can see the difference. In the first video preload data is added, but in second case, video preload data is missing. That means there is no preload data available for the second video as we are specifying none. Clear? So this is the second thing, but it doesn't mean that it will not play the video. We can click on play button and it will play it, but initially it loads without any data, and in first case it loads the data with proper preload information. Okay, now let's talk the third one, and the third value is metadata. So let me show you how we can use metadata. You just need to write here metadata. Likewise for preload, we will set it as metadata. All right, so if I save it and refresh it, you'll find that it looks like similar to the first one. So is it same to the first one? No, it is not. It is different from the first. In first thing, in a default or auto value, the video, the browser is deciding whether to load the data or not as per the condition or working bandwidth. Okay, network bandwidth. But in third case, it is instructed that only load the metadata information for the video. That includes that includes the duration, dimension and track list of the video. So in such situation, browser only preloads the information related to metadata, that is duration, dimensions. Clear? So in such situation, like when we are supposed to use it, like when you want to show the video information without downloading the video itself. Okay, so again it improves the performance of the video. Clear? So these are the 3 point or 3 value that we are supposed to use with preload. I hope this part is clear to all of you. Now I have a question for all of you, and today's question is, why do we use controls attribute, this controls attribute in HTML video element? So please do share your for this question in the comment section so that others can take a reference from it, and those who will provide the consistent correct answer will be spotlighted in the upcoming opportunities. Okay, so yeah, that's all for today. In the next session we will discuss few more things. So thank you for watching Tech Sharmit.